Hello everyone, this is the video explaining chapter 2 of science class 10, that is acid, bases and salts. This is the first part of the chapter and here we'll get to know about the chemical properties of acids and bases. Now, what are acids? Some properties explaining acids are listed below. First is they are sour in taste. Now, all sour substances that we come across are acidic in nature. As you can see, fruits like kiwi, oranges, lemon, etc. are acidic in nature as they are sour in taste. Same is the case with curd and vinegar that we have at our homes. Secondly, it turns blue litmus to red color. Litmus is a dye that we extract from lichens, which are a kind of plants. This dye changes its color from blue to red when comes in contact with acids. Third is acids corrode metals. That is, acids destroy or eat the metals they come in contact with. Fourth is they have positively charged hydrogen ions. This we'll be looking at in detail further. An acid is a substance that produces hydrogen ions when placed in water. Acid is an ionic compound which is made of two ions, one anion and one cation. In every acid, the cation is common, that is H plus ion, whereas every acid has a different anion. Hence, when acids or ionic compounds are dissolved in water, the ions split apart from each other, which is known as dissociation. If we take the case of HCl, it is composed of a cation which is H plus and an anion which is Cl minus or chloride ion. When it is dissolved in water, it splits apart in chloride ion and hydrogen ion. Now let's come to bases. Let's have a look at the properties of the bases. First is they taste bitter. All kinds of cleaners, that is soaps, detergents, hand washes, dish cleaners are basic in nature. Some other example of bases commonly found in our homes are baking soda, milk of magnesia which is also known as Digene, and Eno etc. Hence, most hand soaps and drain cleaners are bases. Next is they turn red litmus to blue color. Next property is they have slippery texture. Lastly, they contain negatively charged hydroxide ions. Let's look at it in detail now. A base is a substance that produces hydroxide ions when placed in water. As we saw, all acids have a common cation, hydrogen ion. Similarly, all bases have an anion which is hydroxide ion. Now, when bases or ionic compounds are dissolved in water, the ions split apart from each other. Bases are made of two ions that get separated when dissolved in water. Taking example of NaOH base, it is composed of Na positive cation and OH negative anion which will split apart when they get dissolved in water. Indicators. Indicators are the substances that tell about acidic, basic or neutral nature of substances by changing their own color. These substances change their color when they come in contact with acids, bases, and salts. We have two types of indicators. First is natural indicator and the second one is synthetic indicator. Natural indicators are those that are extracted from natural sources. Then we have synthetic indicators that are prepared artificially in laboratories. We'll be looking at each of them one by one. So first have a look at natural indicators. So here we have few natural indicators. First is litmus solution. Its actual color is purple. This litmus, when comes in contact with acid, it turns red color. And if it comes in contact with a base, it turns blue. Similarly, we have turmeric solution. Its natural color is yellow. In acidic solution, it retains its color and it remains yellow, while in a basic solution, it gets converted to deep red. Then beetroot juice, its actual color is purple. In acidic medium, it remains purple, but in basic medium, it gets converted to yellow. Red cabbage juice or red cabbage extract is actually of purple color. In acidic medium, it gets converted to pink to red color, and in basic medium, it gets converted to green to yellow color. Next, we have China rose solution. It is originally of red color. In acidic solution, its color gets changed to magenta, and in basic media, it changes its color to green. Then we have synthetic indicators that we prepare in laboratories. So first example of synthetic indicator is phenolphthalein, which is originally colorless. In acid, it remains colorless, while in bases, it gets converted to pink color. Next, we have methyl orange, which is originally of orange color. In acidic solution, it gives red color, and in basic solution, it gives yellow color. Now, let's come to olfactory indicators. These are the substances whose odor changes in acidic or basic media. We have certain substances that change their smell after getting in contact with acids and bases. For example, onion extract. When we put acid in this extract, it retains its smell. Or we can say its smell remains the same. While if we add base to the onion extract, it loses its smell. Vanilla extract also behaves in a similar manner. Till now we have discussed about the general properties of acids and bases. Let's come to their chemical properties and see how do they behave chemically. Firstly, how acids and bases react with metals. For this, we have a complete setup showing the reactivity of an acid with a metal. We have taken zinc granules to which we have added an acid. After the addition of acid to this metal in the form of zinc granules, we'll observe some bubbles which indicate the formation of a gas. In order to avoid escaping this gas out, we have covered the mouth of a test tube with a cork. This cork is connected to this delivery tube which will take the evolved gas to the tub containing soap solution. When the evolved gas will be discharged to the solution, bubbles will get formed which will rise up. Now, if we bring a burning candle near these bubbles, it will blow off with a pop-up sound, which marks the presence of hydrogen gas. Because this is the test for hydrogen gas, that when a burning candle is brought near hydrogen gas, it blows off with a pop-up sound. Hence, we can conclude that hydrogen gas is evolved when a metal comes in contact with an acid. The reaction of a metal with an acid can be summarized as: acid plus metal gives out salt and hydrogen gas. Bases also react in a similar manner when they come in contact with metals. The reaction of metal with a base can be summarized as: 2NaOH plus zinc gives out sodium zincate, which is a salt, and hydrogen gas. However, such reactions are not possible for all metals. In the second reaction, we'll see how do metal carbonates and metal hydrogen carbonate react with acids. Let's take sodium carbonate in a test tube and add an acid to this metal carbonate, which is sodium carbonate. Again, we'll observe formation of bubbles which will be directed to a test tube containing
calcium hydroxide solution.
When this gas will reach the calcium hydroxide solution, the solution will turn milky from colorless. This milky color indicates the formation of CO2 gas. As the test for CO2 gas is when it is passed through a solution of calcium hydroxide, it turns milky. Hence, we can conclude that the gas which is being produced here is CO2. Similarly, if we take sodium hydrogen carbonate instead of sodium carbonate in another test tube B and repeat the same process, we would notice the same observations. The reactions occurring in the activity can be written as: in test tube A, sodium carbonate is reacting with hydrogen chloride to give out sodium chloride, water, and CO2. In test tube B, where we had taken sodium hydrogen carbonate, which was reacting with HCl to give out salt, water, and CO2. Now, why is calcium hydroxide turning milky? When CO2 is coming in contact with calcium hydroxide, calcium carbonate, which is a white precipitate, is being formed along with water. Hence, the solution is turning milky due to this white precipitate, which is insoluble in water. Now, if we pass excess carbon dioxide to this milky solution, which contains calcium carbonate and water, they will react together to form calcium hydrogen carbonate, which is soluble in water. Hence, the solution will again be colorless. Limestone, chalk, and marble are different forms of calcium carbonate. All metal carbonates and hydrogen carbonates react with acids to give a corresponding salt, carbon dioxide gas, and water. Thus, the reaction can be summarized as: metal carbonate or metal hydrogen carbonate reacts with acid to give out salt, carbon dioxide, and water. Next, we'll see how do acids and bases react with each other. For this, let's take a base NaOH in a test tube which is colorless. To this, add phenolphthalein, which turns its color pink when comes in contact with a base. To this test tube, if we add acid, the pink color would disappear. First, we have taken sodium hydroxide in a test tube to which we have added this phenolphthalein which turns its color to pink. Now to this test tube we have added acid. After adding acid, the solution has turned colorless. In this test tube, base is still there, which is responsible for the pink color of phenolphthalein. But then, how the color disappeared after the addition of acid? That means acid nullified the effect which base was creating on phenolphthalein. Hence, the phenolphthalein got into its original color. From this observation, we can infer that an acid and base reacts together to form salt and water. We have observed that the effect of a base is nullified by an acid and vice versa. The reaction taking place is written as sodium hydroxide combines with hydrochloric acid to give out sodium chloride and water. The reaction between an acid and a base to give a salt and water is known as neutralization reaction. In general, a neutralization reaction can be written as base plus acid gives salt and water. Now let's see how metallic oxides react with acid. The general reaction between a metal oxide and an acid can be written as metal oxide reacts with acid to give out salt and water. Since metal oxides react in a similar manner as a base with acid to give salt and water, hence we can infer that metal oxides are basic in nature. Since metal oxides react with acids to give salts and water similar to the reaction of a base with an acid, metallic oxides are said to be basic oxides. Lastly, we'll see reaction of a non-metallic oxide with bases. The general reaction between a non-metallic oxide with a base can be written as non-metal oxide plus base gives salt and water. Here, non-metallic oxide is acting as an acid to react with a base to give out salt and water. Since this is similar to the reaction between a base and an acid, we can conclude that non-metallic oxides are acidic in nature. Now let's summarize the points that we have read so far. First is acids are sour in taste and change the color of blue litmus to red. Next, bases are bitter and change the color of red litmus to blue. Third, indicators tell us whether a substance is acidic or basic by change in color. There are some substances whose order changes in acidic or basic media. These are called olfactory indicators. Next, acid combines with a metal to give out salt and hydrogen gas. Metal carbonate or metal hydrogen carbonate react with acids to give salt, carbon dioxide and water. Base reacts with acid to give salt and water. Metal oxide reacts with acid to give salt and water. Non-metal oxide reacts with a base to give salt and water. In the end, I have a question for you. Give an example of an olfactory indicator other than that already have been told in the video. You can answer the question by commenting below. This was the first part of the video. In the next part, we'll proceed with the rest of the chapter. If you have any doubt regarding this video, you can ask in the comments and you can also give your suggestions for improving the video. To get update for the next video, please subscribe the channel. Until then, take care and goodbye.